Amigo, this is your idea.
I don't care.
So you drink instead of talking. Okay, so
They gotta speak up so they can hear us.
This is, I'm Lindsay, and this is Chansie, and we are cooking and drinking, and we're going to attempt to show you how to make banana bread.
Banana bread.
Yes.
Okay, so to make banana bread, you're going to need 2 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 eggs, beaten, 1½ cups of mashed bananas, and you want to use overripe bananas. So ones that are kind of looking like they're going bad, but they're not really bad.
This says 5, we only have 3.
We're going to work with it.
Okay.
Okay. A cup of sugar, ½ cup of vegetable oil, or you can use melted butter, and walnuts if you choose. We do not have any walnuts.
Actually, we do.
But it's not a ½ cup or a 1/4 cup. It's not a 1/4 cup.
You sure it's not?
It might be.
Could be. I just don't like walnuts.
Well, then we won't use the walnuts. You tell me now. You tell me now. Okay.
Okay. So now we don't have to grease the bottom of the fancy pan.
We're using a fancy pan.
I don't have to do that.
But we do have to mash our bananas.
No, you gotta do this first. You gotta do the flour and the...
But your bananas are already supposed to be mashed.
Oh. Well, then I'll do the egg thing. Gotta have 2 well-beaten eggs. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this is
glass holders. Homer always. He's always right there.
His timing is impeccable.
Every time. Every time. It's always better him than me. Well beaten is well beaten.
That's pretty well beaten.
The husband beats his wife. Okay, I'm tired. Make scrambled eggs. It'd be a lot faster.
Probably. Just to go really quickly, you can actually use a mixer to mash your bananas ahead of time. It would be a lot faster, but this is a great no mixer needed recipe, so you don't have to use a mixer.
I like mixers.
I do too, however, I don't think it fit on our table.
True.
So, continue to mash my bananas.
Slicing bananas?
Slice my bananas, because we haven't mashed yet.
Slicing. What?
We can just cut.
Well,
we can just cut this part out.
editing this for.
Just cut this part out. Post production, right?
Post production.
Post production. Okay.
Post production.
I think we got plenty of bananas.
Mash the banana.
We need like 8 beats or something.
Nah, that's why I wore a dirty shirt. Well, not a dirty shirt, but a shirt.
Okay. Well, I plan on using
It's
a
dirty.
nicer looking shirt than this in future videos. So.
You mashed. My arm hurts from the eggs. I feel like I just beat my wife. Okay.
Our wonderful husbands will be behind the camera next time.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and combine our flour and baking powder. Okay, so in a big bowl, you want to combine your 2 cups of flour.
Big bowl. Big bowl.
I guess you can use a medium-sized bowl.
Like a big bowl. Big bowl's much bigger.
I promise future ones will be so much easier because we'll have so much of this done ahead of time.
Yeah.
When I hear you're coming over, I'll start measuring ingredients.
Alright.
I got lots of little clear bowls that we can use for all of our ingredients.
2 cups of flour. Yeah, but it makes for so many dishes. They do that on TV, and there's so many dishes.
You see that thing right there
Who
behind the camera?
does Rachel Ray's dishes?
The dishwasher.
Who does her dishes?
The dishwasher.
No, she pays someone to do all her dishes for her.
Yeah, to load them in a dishwasher for her.
She doesn't even know how to measure her own stuff. It's already pre-measured. She probably doesn't even know how to make her own stuff. It's all just there, and she's like, here, you throw this, this, and this in here, and voila.
Yeah, they do it all in the test kitchen. Look at that. 1½ cups of mashed bananas.
Look at
with
that.
3 large bananas.
Woo. Alright, baking powder. 1.5.
I keep my baking powder in the fridge because that's where my dad always kept it. But I'm pretty sure that's not really where you're supposed to keep it. But that's where I keep it. So that's where it goes.
1.5 teaspoons. Every fucking time.
Get off! We should just post this one as it is.
I can't ever do this without getting messy. You're just a messy person. Alright, 1.5. That's 2 out of 3.
Oh, we need salt.
Okay.
It doesn't call for like salt in the main ingredients list.
This cloth is washable.
Right. So you also need a 1/4 teaspoon salt.
Don't confuse me. I'm going in order.
I know, but the salt actually isn't listed in the normal ingredients list. So,
Well, why are we not following the ingredient list?
because it says right there, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Why doesn't it
But
say that on the
I
label?
don't, because this recipe is wonky. Okay. You need a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon.
Don't rush me. Go.
Oh, I was trying to help.
Oh, okay.
I do not recommend setting your ingredients on the floor. We're just lack for space.
I think it's always people only make banana bread because they forget about their bananas and they get old.
Right, but it makes really yummy bread. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg.
8 teaspoons?
Yeah, 8 teaspoons of nutmeg.
8 teaspoons.
8 teaspoons. All right. Okay.
That makes it.
Yes. Okay, so generally you would combine all your wet ingredients in a medium bowl. However, we're going to use this giant measuring cup. I know, you're like, okay. So in your big measuring cup or your medium-sized bowl, you are going to combine all your wet ingredients. So your
Sounds dirty.
eggs, your bananas, your 1/2 teaspoon of cooking oil, or your melted butter.
You only have a cup.
Yes, well.
Good
I will,
Lord. You're getting it all dirty.
actually, that I think is from the counter over there.
You're getting it all dirty.
And how much sugar?
1 cup.
1 cup of sugar.
Does that just go in this?
Yeah, it goes in the wet ingredients.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because this recipe's wonky. And I'm just using it because I have bananas to use.
Stir just until moistened.
Well, that's after you
Fold
divide it
in
into
the
that.
nuts. We don't have nuts because
1 cup of
it's
sugar.
gross.
See, I happen to like walnuts. However, since I'm not the only one in the kitchen,
Except pralines are good.
I will.
Walnuts?
Yeah, I think so.
But
There's some
pralines are
type of-
good. Walnuts are good.
There's some type of nut. Okay.
Spoon batter into prepared pans.
Yeah, we're only gonna use 1 pan. So you're gonna use a loaf pan for this, a bread loaf pan. I have a fancy one. You don't need to grease. However, if you're using a normal glass or a metal bread pan, you would need to grease your pan ahead of time. So then you add your wet ingredients to your dry
I'm
ingredients.
still stirring.
Well, you can stir once you add this stuff
I'm still
in.
stirring. It's got to be fully mixed.
I think it's fully mixed. You're gonna make a mess,
I already made a mess.
like the children, when they come into the kitchen with us.
Oh no.
Cook it. You ever cook with kids? We will do it once. It's incredibly messy.
I'm messy. I feel like I'm worse than a child.
Only when you're cooking with me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the wine.
No. Just inhibits it.
Just makes cooking more fun.
It looks like cookies.
It really does look like a thinner cookie dough, doesn't it? You can almost roll it out. We'll do that once, cookies. I got a great recipe.
Still can't fix my damn rolling pin. Okay,
You need a fancy one like mine. Okay, so we want it to be
I
so
want a
lumpy.
fancy one. I want an old crappy wooden one. That's
I
$4.
got a whole crappy wooden one you can have too, since I have a fancy one.
$4.
I have a fancy one, so you can have my crappy wooden one. Okay, so pour that in there without making a
You
mess.
spoon it. I'll spoon it.
We're gonna spoon it.
We're gonna spoon. Bob, we're spooning in here.
And this is why they're gonna be behind the camera next time, so they can see all our crazy antics. we'll give one of them the camera, we'll give the other one the phone, and we'll get 2 different angles.
Okay.
And we'll make the both of them put up with us for a half hour in the kitchen. Okay, so once it's in your pan, you're going to put it in a preheated oven at 350.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! For 55 to 60 minutes.
Don't you gotta spill it! You're gonna spill it!
For 55 to 60 minutes. So we will be back.
Jesus. Cut.
More stuff to edit out.
More stuff to edit out.
More stuff to edit out. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, we baked it for a little over 55 minutes.
It took ours about 60 minutes. It depends on the oven as to how long it takes to bake. But once it's done, it has to cool in your pan on a wire rack.
Use a toothpick.
Use a toothpick to determine if it's done. If your toothpick comes out clean, then it is done. If it doesn't, it needs to go back in. Our pan happens to have this fancy little wire rack that while it's cooling in the pan, we can leave it on that rack. But if you don't, you can use just a plain old cookie cooling rack and it will work just as well. After 10 minutes of cooling in the pan, it has to come out of the pan and onto the rack, at which point you can let it cool completely, or you can do like we're going to do and eat it hot with some nice melted butter on top. It's yummy. So we will see you in 10 minutes. Okay.
All right, so we are ready to cool it.
Okay, so after 10 minutes, your pan's still going to be a little bit warm, so you're still going to need some hot holders. But all you have to do is very gently take your pan out of, take your bread out of your pan. Very gently run a little knife around the edges, just to kind of loosen it up. Even though you sprayed your pan, it's still going to stick a little bit, and that's okay. Loosen it up. And then you just have to very gently tip your bread onto your cooling rack and let it finish cooling. And that is all there is to it. It's so easy. You can actually do this at home. Do try this at home. And in just a moment, we're going to eat this yummy, yummy, hot, wonderfully smelling banana bread.
I already ate mine, but
It was too good to resist, right?
it's really good. It's really good. Butter.
Is it too undignified to say yum?
Delicious. I didn't even
Okay.
want to with my mouth closed.
So this is, it's like the best bread. It's simple. You don't need a mixer. And it is so
Oh, no.
yum. We're totally making a mess as we eat.
So we're just videotaping ourselves eating.
So try this at home. Tell us what you think.
Home.
Recipe will be in the descriptor. Yes?
Yes.
Recipe will be in the box below.
Mm-hmm.
Like and comment. Let us know what you think. And we will see you next week. Yum.